He was a very unusual person. My brother had certain innate abilities that he just could pick up something and just do it. My last conversation with my brother was Thanksgiving that year, and he had called to speak with the family. And as I spoke with him, I remember him recounting that while he was a student in London, he would take his guitar and he would go to a different section of London periodically, and he would just find a place where he could sing, and he would get these very large crowds of people around him. I remember him telling me, I'm making hundreds of pounds an hour on the street, which for a 20-year-old at the time was pretty significant. And so in turn, what he would do with the money he was earning was to go back and to buy beer for all of his mates who stayed in the flat with him. Just before the flight that, you know, tragically fell in Lockerbie, he and one of his best friends there decided to take a trip for some reason to Scotland. And so just 2 days before this flight, he actually went to Scotland for some reason. There was something that had drawn him and his friend to go there, and they literally had to rush back just to try to catch this flight, which to me seems so ironic that they were rushing back to get on this flight that ultimately was their demise. This picture was also taken by the same person he had taken this trip with. And these guys would travel and go to the highest mountain peaks they could find and take photographs because he was a photography student as well as a business student. The fact that this one piece of evidence was found so far from the rest of them from the crash, and it had traveled above, as they said, the atmosphere for several days. To me, it's kind of a testimony to who he was and his character. I will never forget, I was still very young at the time, and I remember sitting at the commissioner's desk in Lockerbie with all of this evidence on the table in front of us and looking through photographs. And for me personally, I think I looked for several minutes with my parents before I just put my head on the desk in the commissioner's office and I went to sleep. And I think it was, for me personally, just overwhelming, and I was unable to handle it. I think he would have been someone to achieve a level of success, whether financially or through whatever field he chose to pursue. I personally picture him being a photographer, the type of person to jump out of planes, taking photographs, or to go into areas that other people may have been very afraid to go, because I know he was quite fearless. I just know my brother would have been capable of accomplishing many great things in his life.